back to River City Runs Red, our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle here on Restless Barbarian Gaming. And tonight I'm here with all of my lovely players. They're all here. Everyone's good. I guess I'll have them introduce themselves in counterclockwise order, starting with Tom.
Hey, my name's Tom. I am playing Ephraim, a very bad person. That's just about the easiest way to sum it up.
Just a bad guy.
He's just really an awful person. I really enjoy playing him. So, which I don't know. It doesn't say much for me then, I guess. So.
So then I guess that means I'm next. My name is T, and I am playing Yvaine Mallory, lovable girl failure from Clan Ministry, but also the best person in the world, probably the nicest kind of. If Ephraim is just bad, Yvaine is completely the opposite.
Yeah, so she can do no wrong. She can do no wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She's God's sweet little angel.
Yeah.
There you go. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm Jen. I'm back on the screen again for reasons, and I'm playing Delilah Cole, who was probably off doing some Nosferatu things in the meantime. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's been, getting some good sire-child time. They haven't had a lot of time together.
Right.
Gotta make time where you can.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, the others were having some eventful time at Elysium, gathering information and chatting with some folk and witnessing some spats. It was good times all around. Oh, also Ephraim really covered his ass on the whole I accidentally killed a girl and then people saw me shove her body in a trunk. Really did his best to cover up that whole fiasco to seemingly very good success.
Yeah. That's one of the things he's really good at.
But will it pick up the following night after your guys' eventful little evening at Elysium, and we'll sort of quickly just go around, see what everybody's up to, and go from there. So I think we'll start with Ephraim. I won't pick on Jen, so they have time to think of all of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise, Ephraim's probably at the club. He's
never there.
He's thinking about picking up a shift, as it were, to DJ. He hasn't done it in a couple nights.
It has been a while, and your fans are getting antsy.
Yeah. Probably maybe like 3 nights from now, he's gonna pick up shift, as it were, and maybe give Jose the night off. Depends on what he needs.
Yeah,
he needs something. Then Jose's still on. So
yeah, obviously, because Ephraim's priority.
Yeah,
and Jose knows this.
He's still a little disturbed at how easily Yvaine's sire just pushed him aside, and he's kind of like, oh, that's what that feels like. And wanting to know more about that conversation that happened between them and Marek. So, but he'd actually probably contact Yvaine and Delilah about meeting. And it's
all right.
So.
Right, sounds good. Well, before you do that, Yvaine, Delilah, are either of you up to anything before you end up getting a message from Ephraim?
Jeez, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey always knows just the right things to say.
Exactly, yes. Very good at that. All right. Let's see. There's stuff around here. Okay. I guess that Delilah is probably hanging out with her sire for a while because she hadn't in a while. So she's doing that. And she'll go back to the coterie house eventually.
Sounds good.
I think that when Delilah gets back to the coterie house, Yvaine is aggressively cleaning. Aggressively cleaning.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
How aggressive we talking here?
If Yvaine is like normally at an 8, I think that right now she's like at a 15.
Oh.
That whole thing last night, very weird, and she doesn't know what to do about it, or if she should even mention anything about it to anyone. So she is just aggressively disinfecting the entire coterie house. And then I think that probably when that text from Ephraim comes in, I think Yvaine essentially goes, Pages, whatever. Pages Delilah, oh my god, this is not a drill.
Like
Ephraim wants to hang out. Time to come to the coterie house. All three in the house together.
Yeah. It's like he's texting me again.
yeah.
What is a fucking miracle?
Right.
Suddenly
right.
very comfy after dragging a dead body.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I was going to say he found Christ, but who knows?
Poor Yvaine was just sitting in the car seat, still in the car when that happened.
Oh my gosh.
Flabbergasted.
Mhm.
Yeah, you witness a body disposal together. You know, you grow a little closer as people.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, she
Go ahead.
didn't see where he left the body.
No,
he dropped her
That's
off
true.
first.
She just saw. That's true.
Yeah.
She okay. Yeah, a body.
You have credit.
A body recovery. However you want to phrase that.
Apparently he
That's fair.
trusted that she would not blab enough that he just did that in front of her anyways. So
Sorry,
step in
Jen.
the right
That's okay.
direction.
It's okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna text back with the little pager thing. Okay, I'll be there soon.
All right. Okay, I think that lightens Yvaine's mood a little bit.
Oh, good.
It's like, ooh, all three in the coterie house.
So she goes from
Never
aggressively
happened.
cleaning to less
So-
aggressively cleaning.
To more like, okay, I'm doing this now because I know Ephraim's gonna make a comment or make a look about like, ew, the coterie house. So gotta have a leg to stand on there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So Delilah's just gonna walk over there.
All right. Sounds good. Ephraim, do you do anything before you head on out, or do you just head straight to the Coterie Haven after getting the messages back?
Nah, I can't think of anything else.
All right.
So I think
And-
just heading straight over.
All right, sounds good. Then the three of you slowly reconvene
Mhm.
at the Coterie Haven.
Do the bat thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
I really need to make that.
Mhm.
So I'm just wondering, so like with the coterie house, right?
Mhm.
hmm
And like getting it all prepared and less like a drug den. So Yvaine's got like 4 resources. So I'm just wondering, is it safe to say that no one is surprised if people kind of come and go, and each time there's a new couch or a new, I don't know, bookshelf, or there are new beds in the bedrooms, just in case anyone wants to come hang out at the coterie house.
I wouldn't say that's out of the question.
New dresser. Hey.
Do the neighbors notice it?
Let's see how observant the neighbors are.
Yeah.
Okay.
For all we know, it's a model house. Like a setup. Someone's trying to sell the house. I don't know.
Wait to see somebody's going to try to rob it. So.
We need furniture.
All right, if people notice, they ain't saying or
kill
doing
them.
anything.
Yeah, that one. Not murder. They're just not saying anything, which is smart. Alright. Is it pretty early in the night when everyone meets up?
I would say it's relatively early in the evening. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Yvaine. And Ephraim comes in, looks for he actually notices all the chairs look fairly clean. Normally he'd be that type that'd like take a paper towel and
Oh no.
but he just kind of looks and is like, all right. Sits down and crosses his legs and says, so do we know what Marek wanted with your sire?
I have an inkling of a possible idea of what could have happened, but I am not 100% sure, nor do I feel like I could prove it unless I went to the source itself. But I can infer based on the very last thing maybe that I heard. It has nothing to do with what we're looking into currently. I'll say that much.
Because I know, taking a step back to the previous episode, Ephraim had asked Marek about what research they were going to do, and they were talking about going to see somebody outside of town.
Yes. He said he was getting assistance from someone outside of town.
Okay. Which the players figured out, but the character hasn't. So.
Wait, didn't Ephraim bring up that he thought?
He thought it was the Hecata,
right?
Yeah. But then there was something I heard out of character about vampires eating flesh.
I'll just tell you, Tom. Those people are part of the Hecata now.
Yes,
at least some of them are.
Oh
Some
yeah,
of them
no.
are.
I know that. It's not something that the character necessarily knows.
Yes, I'm sure Ephraim would be like, what the fuck kind of deal.
Yeah. But, he might actually be shocked, but because I guess I'm not sure now which avenue to kind of pursue at this point. Because a lot of it's been kind of raised up the chain of command, and we're kind of getting told, okay, well, kind of getting kind of if we think it's important, we'll look into it. So,
I mean, don't forget, Hassan did say he would look into it.
Right. So then I guess
that's at least one person.
Yeah. I guess that's where the player is kind of like, okay, I don't know what to do, what we're supposed to do next.
Yeah, it's like, all right, what avenue do we pursue now?
Breadcrumbs, please.
Okay. So, two things. And she kind of she's got a little bit of nervous energy going on, and she has obviously since the night previous. So two things. One, I would prefer not to go into more detail about the whole Marek and Frey thing right now.
Okay.
If not necessary. However, if it would give you peace of mind, like in knowing that it didn't have anything to do with what we're looking into, then I'll share the information because it's more of a personal discomfort thing rather than anything else.
How much does Ephraim want to gain leverage? It's probably nothing he could use later, or so he'll just kind of back off on it. It's kind of like, okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure we're not getting caught in something.
Absolutely, 100%. And if at any point I feel like it does turn out to be something like that, I will absolutely share that information with both of you as soon as I know it. Second thing, I think that maybe we should just kind of rehash everything that we've kind of learned or anything strange we've heard about that could possibly relate back to the murders we've been looking into. Just so that we have all the pieces to the puzzle that we've got so far laid out.
I think Ephraim told everything about the two visions he had. If the player is remembering right, I think he shared all of it.
Yeah,
I think Ephraim only did it with Delilah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then he will put all his cards on the table, and we'll share about the visions he had, about the body parts being given to somebody, some kind of person who looked like they had like long hair and long ears or something like that.
Specifically, actually, they had no hair.
Oh, no hair,
but
I'm
long
sorry.
ears.
Long ears, okay, I'm getting them
Yes.
mixed up. And that it seemed like some kind of ceremony. And also about the vision he had of Delilah's friend giving that book to this same character.
Right.
Which seemed awfully convenient.
Yeah, I think Yvaine looks at Delilah with like a questioning look.
Yeah, well, we Nosferatus tend to trade things at times if needed, so it's a way to keep in touch and learn things and that sort of thing. So that's why I gave her the book.
Sure, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Could we maybe have the contact, know who this person is? Because we could still follow up about this.
I tried that.
Oh.
Yeah. Yvaine doesn't know this. Yeah, I tried that. I went over to meet this person, and they didn't want to reveal their sources. That's
about right with Nosferatu. Especially if they don't know you and you're not a Nosferatu.
Yeah. So, again, that seemed to reach a dead end.
Did you only take a polite approach?
Oh no. What did you do?
No, she didn't do anything. She's just asking if...
Oh, okay.
No.
If, so far, Ephraim has only tried a polite approach, which would be simply talking it out.
Yeah. I did try that approach. I tried to be as persuasive. And he'll look over at Delilah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that was going to be an option, being impolite.
No.
Delilah, do you have an emotional tie to this person?
Well, she is another Nosferatu, so that's kind of a tie. But
yeah, that's a huge tie.
Yeah, that's a huge tie.
Yeah.
So
I will say this: I'm not thinking anything violent.
No,
I just mean
not
that
at
there are things that we could try to get the answers that just aren't quite kind.
Yeah. She's not going to go for that at all.
Well,
I mean, she
Delilah,
doesn't have to go for it. She just has to fall for it.
I don't need to be there. I think Yvaine can handle this on her own.
Classic Ephraim.
Well, plus if I show up, nothing's gonna. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I don't think she likes you very much last time that we went in and talked to her. Yeah.
I mean, oh, I could try. Can she fight? I can't fight.
I've never seen her fight. I can fight.
Just in case it goes south. That's
right,
all.
right. But if we're just polite, it'll be fine.
Well,
You might want to bring me with you because she's a little skittish. Doesn't like to let people in.
okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
She is worried about bringing Delilah with her, considering that they are both Nosferatu.
Or we could just go by ourselves and leave Delilah out of it.
It's possible.
But
I don't think she
Delilah
likes
will
you,
be
though,
mad
Ephraim.
at
I mean,
us.
I don't think Keen likes you at all, so
No,
it's going to
not
be
at
a
all.
problem.
Feelings mutual.
Well, then you're even, I suppose.
I mean, she hasn't met me yet.
Yeah.
True.
He's really, as best as he can, trying to be respectful, but is really still kind of like they know something, and they know who that person is.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
So, with your permission, Delilah,
My permission? What is it you need?
I can just tell Yvaine where Keen is.
Sure.
Okay. So you'll tell Yvaine where to find them.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Yvaine will make mental note of that.
Mm-hmm.
Split the party.
That's about what we're doing.
Right now?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Storyteller,
trying to
just
think
ammunition.
Yeah.
Because Delilah is away for a bit.
Right.
I'm trying to think of what major things happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Delilah
the-
was hanging out with her sire for a while.
Yeah.
She hadn't.
There was the stuff
Been
at
a while.
Elysium, and there was trying to think of that overlapping period as to what exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's disappeared from my mind. I
Yeah.
can't recall.
I'm sure it'll come back to us at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly, go back and watch the old episodes.
Yeah, go back to episode 6, everybody,
Oh!
or episode 5, and tell us what happened.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the Tremere.
Yes, that was it. You
Went
went
to
in,
the
yeah.
Tremere.
You went to go to. You
Tremere
went to go
do
talk
not
with-
like us.
Yes, you went to go talk with Alyssa, and Pierce was giving you guys some weird vibes, like weirder than normal.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Making
that was
friends
the
all
other thing.
over. So.
And then there is, of course, just the nonsense that Yvaine would update you on as her emotional rock. It's just like, my sire is so mean to me. But that
Aw.
is another story for a different time. I should
Okay.
update you on that at some point.
All right.
I guess we're splitting the party.
All right.
I guess so.
All right. So, who all is going to Keen's? Is it just Yvaine?
I don't think I should go.
She doesn't like you.
She certainly
can
does not
I-
like you.
Yeah.
Can I invite someone?
Maybe.
But who should I invite? Oh, now I have 2 contacts golfing with this matter. But I think that, like, Austin does not look like a people person at all in any way, shape, or form. So I don't think that talking customer service, I don't think that's for him. So probably Marek. Marek seems to, would be a better choice. So Yvaine will, I guess, page. Pagers. She will page Marek and ask if he potentially wants to follow up with on a potential lead with her.
And he just messages back, I'm interested. Location?
She will send the location, and then she will say, like, let's meet, like, 1 block from there, then go the rest of the way on foot, essentially. Yeah, I know I was proud of that.
It's like, yeah, park a block away.
Mhm.
And you just get a message back saying, see you there.
Alright.
And you can use your phone instead of a pager, so long as you're low-key about it.
No, I heard the prince in the first season. If you ever use a phone for anything, even remotely closely related to us in our society,
She was pretty intense
shake
about
you like
it.
a baby doll.
Yeah, those are her words, word for word.
Yeah, I heard it. I was there.
Yeah. All right. So, while Yvaine and Marek are going to Keen's, Ephraim and Delilah, are either of you doing anything?
It'd probably be better for me to go with to Keen's because we're both Nosferatu. We've already, we did the whole exchange of, giving each other stuff, and whatever they want to do with that is fine. But it'd probably make it easier if I go with Yvaine. Because I don't think Keen leaves the house very often, so...
And they're going to wonder, who the hell is this?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Sounds
do that.
good.
Hey,
All right.
just promise me you won't get weird about any of the methods I use.
Okay. Alright,
Okay.
so she puts her mask on and goes.
All right. So Delilah's going with Yvaine. Ephraim, you are left to your own devices. Are you doing anything? And if so, what are you doing?
I was thinking about trailing behind, and kind of just being in the neighborhood. But he doesn't think that's a good idea. Maybe go to Elysium
Okay.
and see who's around. Now the prior night with Marek, that didn't raise anybody's eyebrows, right? I mean, there was no outright violence or anything like that, so there was nothing really noticeable.
Yes, there was. As far as anyone's aware, there wasn't like any violence in Elysium or anything like that. Otherwise, there certainly would have been swift action to have that taken care of.
Maybe he'll go and see if Hassan is around.
All right.
And if not, Zoe's Pixie. So.
All right. Sounds good. Well, first off, we'll follow along with Yvaine and Delilah.
Okay.
And The two of you make it to the meeting point with Marek to find him already waiting there for you.
So, good evening.
Good evening to you as well,
You
Delilah.
remember? Yep.
Good to see you again.
Yes, I've been just hanging out with my sire. It seemed like the right thing to do.
They do appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Do
So, when you say that, it does get a bit of a smirk out of Marek, and he just asks, "So, what is this lead?"
Yvaine kind of looks at Delilah. Would you rather explain the connection?
We are going to visit a Nosferatu that I've befriended, and her name is Keen, and so we're just going to say hello.
All right, and I'm assuming this Keen knows something.
Knows me. It's a Nosferatu thing. You kind of
The book.
transfer information and stuff, so yeah. Uh-huh.
Book. The book.
You're right. That's what I'm talking about. Once I handed it over to her, it was hers. She could do whatever she wanted.
And what is this book?
I didn't open it. I thought it would be disrespectful to have paged through it before I hand someone over something. We met earlier on, and it was just kind of a way to balance things.
And and you see that he's just trying to stay as composed as possible while just processing everything that's being told to him, and he sort of just gently puts his hand on Yvaine's shoulder and turns both of them away from Delilah for a moment, and just says, "What is this about?"
Sorry, that was hilarious. Okay, so to fill in the blanks, of which there are many, it seems that Delilah owed this Nosferatu, Keen, a favor. And the favor that Keen asked for was for Delilah to retrieve some book from some place, steal it, acquire it, whatever, and bring it back to their shop. I don't know, I'm unclear on that, but get them that book. Now, the reason why this is possibly important is, okay, quick question.
Yes.
As I'm plowing ahead. Yvaine would have asked if Ephraim would be okay about her bringing up the vision.
Yeah, at first he probably went he's like, yeah, we gotta.
Just
like,
because it's the only thing that kind of makes sense with why we would want to speak. Okay.
Yep, good. Yep.
All right, cool. Thank you. She just, she gotta be cool about it. So the reason why this is important, potentially, is because Ephraim had a vision about the book being handed over to this person, not quite sure who yet, which is the same person that he saw in another vision in which the pieces of body parts, potentially from the corpses we found, were being handed over to them as if for some sort of ritual.
I see. The context certainly helps. Thank you. So, what is your plan of action?
One way or another, we need to get a name. And I'm both open to doing that in a polite manner, or perhaps doing something not as polite. You get it.
I do. Well, let's hope the polite manner suffices. It would be a shame for things to get overly messy.
Yes, I can't fight. Just so that we're all aware of that. Like, I'll say it again. I cannot fight. Would be absolutely useless. So please don't expect anything from me. Alright. I think that Yvaine would gesture for them to kind of walk down the block towards Keen's then.
Alright. You guys saunter your way over. Takes a minute or two, but it's not a terribly far walk. And you find yourselves standing outside of Keen's abode, which is a sort of very simple, like, one-story townhome. Well, Delilah, you know that there's a basement, but that's not immediately clear.
Right. Yep. So I'll just knock on the door.
All right. And a moment passes before you hear movement on the other side, and you hear that.
Yeah, she's there.
Unlocking sounds. And she creaks the door open with the chain still attached, and says, "You love bringing strangers to my doorstep."
It wasn't really the intent, but I don't know. I've been with my sire for a while, and I know I've missed a few things, but I've brought my friend with who's part of our coterie. And I wave towards Yvaine. Come here. Say hello.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Yvaine. I asked for Delilah's help with meeting with you. I had some questions I was hoping you might be willing to answer.
She sort of looks at Delilah, then looks at you, then looks at over at Marek and says, "And you are?" "Marek Kroll. A pleasure. I'm simply accompanying these two lovely ladies at the moment." And she sort of like squints her eyes a little bit and then looks back to Yvaine. "What do you want?"
This one's grumpy. Okay, sorry, I didn't think that far ahead about what I was going to say. I should have drafted something.
Delilah, you get the impression that she's sort of like still a little agitated from the last person that you brought to her place. So
Yeah, I get it. Okay. I think Yvaine just wanted to talk about something, but I didn't quite remember what it is.
The voice of Ephraim whispers in your ear. You want to ask about who she gave the book to?
I know that. I'm just wondering if
Okay,
you're
sorry.
going to hop right into. I'm debating whether or not I
I'm
want
deciding if there should be
to use
foreplay first,
awe.
right? So.
Yeah, just jump right into it. Yeah, you gotta debate if
Have some kind of
you're,
foreplay.
you gotta debate if you gotta like ease her into it or not.
Right.
Um, what is the general emotion that I am getting from Keen right now? Like the strongest two emotions.
The strongest two emotions, make me a wits insight check.
Okay. What's inside? Yeah. Three successes.
All right. You get that the like strongest emotions that she's most like openly conveying is irritation and curiosity.
Oh, that's an interesting mix. Okay. Wow. All right.
You kind of get the vibe that she doesn't really want you here, but also is curious as to why you are here.
Mm-hmm. And she already knows me, so.
Okay. Okay. Whereabouts are we in the city? How close are we to, like, are we pretty deep in the like downtown or whatever, like Camarilla controlled territory? Are we more like kind of further out of the downtown area? Like where are we currently at?
I'd say you're like further out of the downtown area. So like technically this would be considered Anarch domain, but
okay. How close are we to Ward 2?
Ward 2, where you are currently, is technically considered Ward 1, but like barely. Like Ward 2 is like a hop, skip, and a jump, just like a little bit east.
Okay. Okay. So Yvaine kind of, squares up. No, that's the wrong wording. She doesn't square up.
Gets ready to fight.
Means something completely different from what I meant.
Yeah. Try again.
Just kind of positions herself across from Keen. Says, Keen, I'm curious. You live pretty far away from the inner city area, downtown. So you probably hear quite a bit of news out here. I'm curious to know.
I think so.
Well, I'm curious to know. Have you, by any chance, heard any rumblings from Ward 2 recently?
What kind of rumblings?
Okay, so then I think I'm going to use awe.
Okay.
All right.
But I have to remember if that makes sense. I'm trying to.
Depends on what exactly you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Essentially, what Yvaine was planning to do is to take. Okay, she's gonna kind of like take a step forward, like just a half a step forward, and how tall is Keen?
Probably as tall as Delilah. Nosferatu, I think.
Keen is on the sort of like lankier, skinny, tall side.
Ah, okay.
She's she's probably she's not like overly tall, but she's like taller for a feminine figure, so about like 5'11", give or take.
Mm-hmm.
So like not freakishly tall, but still
Right.
decently tall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Yvaine's going to kind of step a little bit into Kane's space. It's not threatening. I feel like the best way to explain it is that it's kind of like when they were outside that club that one time, back in season 1. Where it was like anxious, dorky Yvaine, but there's like a moment where it's like her focus on what she needs to do and who she needs to be kind of snap into the center. It lines up. And so I think that like the energy's just like a little bit charged. Like there's tension, but it's not like I'm going to fight you tension.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to explain this kind of like Yvaine is making her presence very felt, tangibly felt.
Okay.
And she's going to say, that's so funny because I like slightly forgot what Keith said. So I talked too much.
She basically, you asked if there was if she had heard any rumblings in Ward 2, and she asked what kind of rumblings.
Gotcha. Okay. She leans in. I think she kind of like steps to the side, like when she steps in. So it's more like she's turned her head to the side to face Keen. And they're like kind of opposite shoulders, kind of parallel to each other in that way, I guess.
Okay.
Explain it very well. She says, the kind of rumblings that tell of corpse robbers and book thieves.
Oh no.
Okay, so are you using awe right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Make me a manipulation and persuasion roll, and add your presence dots as dice.
Okay. Listen. Should I blood surge?
Just get all the dice.
I'm already at 9, so I'm not going to. Wait, hold up. You said manipulation what? Persuasion?
Manipulation plus persuasion plus presence.
Plus presence, yep. Let me check here. Sorry, I'm trying to check what my specialties are to make sure I'm not forgetting. Okay, no, we're good. All right. Let's see how the cookie crumbles. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, so that. 5. Okay, and then I would like to use a willpower. How long does it take willpower to replenish?
Each night it refreshes if you only have like superficial willpower damage, which is what you have most of the time. It replenishes every night an amount equal to either your composure or your resolve, whichever is higher.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so I'll use a willpower to reroll 3. Okay, 6 successes.
All right. You you sort of see her eye you up a little bit and take a quick glance over at Delilah and says, she opens up the door the rest of the way and just says, "Come in."
All right.
Sorry. I was excited. Yay.
All right. Yeah, I'll follow Yvaine in.
And Marek will follow shortly thereafter.
Yay. Okay.
All right.
What does this house look like? Or, I don't know. Is it a house?
It's a house.
It's a house. All in all, like, the upper floor is very bare bones. It's like very clean and neat for what it is, but there's not like a lot going on. It kind of looks like one of those places that somebody just like bought like pre-furnished and then just never bothered changing anything about it.
Lacking personality?
Yeah. And she gestures over to a sort of like rickety wooden kitchen table with a few chairs around it and gestures over for you to take a seat.
Okay. I'll go take a seat.
Same.
All right. And Marek will hesitate for a moment, but he will also go and take a seat. And Keen will sit down last. I have heard about some interesting deaths in Ward 2. They're doing their best to keep it very hush-hush, you see. So, I don't know all the details, but this sounds like hunters from what I've heard. A little interesting from at least the speculation, but these things happen. And there have only been 2 incidents from my knowledge, and there haven't been any since. There could be more. There are bound to be more attempts, I'm sure. Whether it's the same group or different groups or...
May I insight Keen to see what primary emotions I'm getting from her now that she's invited us into her place?
Yeah, you can insight her.
Because I don't know, that kind of sounds a little bit like giving excuses to me. Just a little bit. Alright, at 2 successes.
2 successes. She's kind of a slippery one. She's a little... Yeah, she likes to hold her cards close to her chest. You can tell that whatever she's saying or not saying, she's you notice she's a little more cautious or on edge now that you're in her space.
Mhm. Hmm. I feel like if Yvaine can continue to, I guess, throw Keen off her center of gravity here, that maybe Keen will slip up. Maybe. Um, but what is the best way to go about that? Unleash the Elder.
And sort of like as if she's sort of spinning her yarn, Marek will like lean in next to you, making sure he's facing a little ways away from Keen, but so you can still hear, and just says, if she has a black book, then what you're looking for may just be in there. We wouldn't even have to take it. I could just take a few minutes and I'd get all the information from it.
Do I hear this, or is it too soft for me to hear?
Make me a wits insight check.
All right. Let's see. Wits and insight. Let's see. Trying to find it.
Insight and wits.
Oh,
Yes.
backwards.
Oh,
Okay.
extremely
Yes,
well.
yeah.
Yeah,
extremely
these character sheets are really bad for dyslexics, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was insight and wits, is that
Insight
right?
and wits.
Okay, let me find it. Insight here.
And I'm assuming you do not have heightened senses for auspex.
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. Yeah. What are we doing here? What was it? Wits and
Wits.
Insight and wits.
insight and wits. Okay. It's not actually giving me any in this little box here. So
Okay. I'll roll it for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Not Iskra.
No, that's a different character at all. Entirely different character. Would be doing things much differently here.
Oh yeah, you'd be beating them up. So
Yeah. Mhm.
Just going swinging.
you want a blood surge?
Sure.
Okay. Five successes.
Wow.
5 successes. You definitely hear what he's whispering to you.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna
now.
like stare at him like this, like wait for him to notice.
And yeah, sort of as he's whispering, he just you see his eyeballs like flick over to you, and he
Mhm.
just seems entirely unfazed and sort of just finishes up what he was saying. And then he will turn his attention back to Keen.
Okay. Hmm.
Again, this could be really good or extremely bad.
Yeah. And sort of after Keen was done talking about, you know, the murders and what they had heard and all that, she then says, and you said something about a book thief? And any specific type of book?
When Delilah went over taking the book, did Delilah ever say like what color the book was?
She didn't tell anybody else, just Keen. Keen could see it because I had the book in my hand.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a good answer for that.
Sorry.
Ugh.
That's what happened though.
I think that Yvaine will just kind of do a Uno reverse here. An
Okay.
ancient social, method of battle with others.
Right.
She will say, well, I did mention a book thief, but come now. Do you really think that it was all hunters? She's gonna press.
Alrighty. Sits back, waits. I know what this answer's going to be.
Well, I have no reason to believe otherwise. Why? Do you suspect otherwise?
Seem more like copycat murders to me.
Oh. So do you think they're two different hunter groups? Or do you think there's one hunter group and then somebody else killed the other set of people?
Well, now that's the question, isn't it? What would you speculate?
Well, while I did hear about some abnormalities in the
Oh?
second group of killings,
Abnormalities, whatever could you mean?
I heard there were potential trophies taken, not unheard of amongst hunters.
Trophies! And Yvaine clutches her imaginary pearls. People do that?
Oh yes. You'd be surprised at how many sick and twisted individuals are still among the living.
What did you hear what they took?
Bits of their victims, I'm sure. I didn't hear any specifics.
What would they even do with something like that? I mean, eventually it would just decompose. What's the point?
It depends on the... Well, I suppose it depends on if they're amateurs or some more well put together organization.
Do you think that there's a bigger threat here then? If it was a more put together organization, say, the Second Inquisition, well,
What do you know of the Second Inquisition?
God, don't quiz me. Me, Tiara? Nothing. Very little. Bits and pieces. Oh gosh. I wish there was like a history check to like retroactively. Have I ever read a newspaper clipping and Kindred?
Have I ever read a Kindred newspaper clipping?
Oh my gosh.
Kindred
Ye
Weekly.
dead old times.
I mean, Yvaine has been around for at least a little bit. She's somewhat clueless, but like, she doesn't live under a rock.
Yes, I would say that Yvaine would know that, she may not know like all the finer specifics or anything like that, or like any like, or not necessarily like all the super notable groups or anything like that, but she would definitely know that the Second Inquisition is sort of like a blanket term for just like human hunters, like human hunter organizations, but they're like different organizations
Within
and they don't all necessarily work together or get along or cooperate or anything like that. They all have similar and varying agendas, and sometimes those agendas will butt heads, sometimes they'll collaborate, but it's not like one gigantic organized force or anything.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Okay. she has no way of knowing how long Keen has been around for.
Hmm.
But I do think that based off of what she has gotten from Keen so far, Keen seems like the type of person who has confidence that they won't get themselves caught. Like confidence in their own abilities to take care of what they need to without incriminating themselves, essentially. So because that's the reading she's getting on Keen, I think Yvaine's gonna go for more of a I don't know, you tell me approach, probably. I think she's going to intentionally look a little vague, a little like, a little dumb, a little airheadedness going on, to
Okay.
give Keen a little bit of a sense of, I guess, informational superiority.
All right. While sort of like you two are having this conversation, can both of you make me wits insight rolls?
Okay, in that order?
Well, for you, Jen, insight wits.
Insight wits. Okay, let me find it. There's insight. And where's wits? Not on this little thing. Attribute?
Yes,
There we go.
yeah,
Okay, I
yep.
got it. I got it. I don't know where it went.
I am going to expend another willpower, though.
It's a little,
All
it's a little
right.
drop down.
Okay. Did I? I don't know what I did.
Want me to roll for it?
Yeah.
It would be so good if you did that.
No blood
Oh my
source.
god,
this
it did the thing! 5 successes.
time. 1.
1. Okay. It's a 1.
Oh. Okay. Delilah, you're just sort of like here listening to this conversation that's going back and forth.
Yep.
Yvaine, sort of like as you're sort of like twisting it back around as you're just doing this verbal dance with Keen where both of you are trying to say things without saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
You finally see that you sort of like glance at the floor out of the corner of your eye and you see that there's blood sort of like down from Marek's wrist onto the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And the blood, almost as if it has a mind of its own, is sort of like snaking across the floor as if it's looking for something.
She will keep up this social dance.
All right. What do I know of the Second Inquisition? Well, I know that many of them have similar tactics. And so it could be what you're suggesting, where one of them is a copycat. But if it were a copycat, would it really benefit one hunter's cell to frame another and potentially give them credit? Or do you think someone or something else copycat?
Okay, so this is where we get into the performance part of the evening. So, Yvaine's really going to lean into this because of this. She's really just trying to get Keen to talk. One, people who have high esteem of themselves sometimes to the point of being annoying. But they enjoy feeling good in a social, like, in a social interaction, and like they're probably the smartest one there. So she's just gonna kind of lean into that because she knows that people like that like to talk about what they think a lot. And so hopefully this will help provide a decent distraction from what else is going on in the room.
Okay.
So I think she is going to lean to the act of like really like having oh, I haven't thought of this before. So you're saying like maybe it wasn't another hunter group, but rather somebody trying to hide something? But who would do something like that?
Okay. All right. So then,
She looks doubtful.
all right, make me a charisma and a performance roll.
Okay. You said charisma and performance roll,
And
correct?
performance.
Okay. And she specialties add 1 die, right?
They add 1 die per applicable specialty. Yes.
Okay.
And what specialty do you have?
Performance and acting.
Oh, I see. I see.
There's a method to the madness. Alright. Come on, don't fail me now. Please. Okay, that was really rough. 3 successes.
Okay.
How? Is there a downside to using a lot of willpower very quickly?
Only if you fill your willpower up with superficial damage. Other than that, you are free to spend it freely as you wish.
I'm going to do this one more time because it's obviously a limited resource. So that I can reroll 3. Because that was a little rough. Let's see, please. Okay, 2 more. So what did I say that was? Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3. All right, so then that makes 5.
All right, sounds good. You act as though you're entirely enthralled with what Keen is saying, and a few minutes go by as you sort of like hear Keen's like, potential thoughts and conspiracies, and you notice out of the corner of your eye the blood slinking its way back, and then up the chair, and then back into Marek's arm, and he sort of like tilts his hand, tilts his head over to you slightly, and just gives you a wink.
Nice. Okay. What is Keen currently saying?
Currently, Keen is going on about how she thinks, because you've acted like so attentive that she's sort of just like really like going into it now, that she said that if it was a copycat, then it would have been strange for them to not just replicate the entire scene, and that potentially they were just that the 2 killings like were done by the same person or the same group, and whoever like took the trophies that used them as a cover-up or like manipulated them into like doing the thing with the trophies for them. She's sort of just like spitballing and saying like, that's what I think, that's a strong theory.
So, like, does Keen feel like she's speaking bullshit? Or, like, is Keen just, like, really buying into this? I mean, I'm assuming it's an act because I have no way to prove that Keen is actually involved or not. You know, we know about the vision.
Yeah.
And we know that Delilah delivered the book, but we can't not confirm that Keen actually has anything to do with this figure, accepting pieces of body parts, whatever. So, I guess like, I just want to do another read on Keen.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Yes.
I thought Keen admitted it when Ephraim called him on it. Just wouldn't say who it was.
Huh? Well, you know that. Well, I would say Ephraim, you definitively know that Keen and this figure are connected in some way,
Right.
but you don't know if Keen is like involved with like the murders or anything like that.
But I mean, I thought when Ephraim questioned her, she admitted that she gave the book to this person.
Yes, she did admit that.
Okay.
Yes.
So Yvaine would know that. Yvaine would know that.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh. Okay, I would still like to do a quick read on like how, like, whether or not Keen is kind of like, haha, I am just kind of trying to spit enough bullshit to bury the lead here. Or if it's like, I'm doing so good at spinning this tale, this bitch is eating it up.
I'd say sort of like with the general trend of like roles you've gotten, you can sort of like you've gotten a bit of a read for her at this point where it seems like, at least to an extent, she does believe what she is telling you, but she is also kind of just rambling and like hoping that you'll just be satisfied with what she's telling you.
So you know what's like the most emotionally devastating in a social interaction, where you're kind of like, where you know you're lying but you're not sure if anyone else knows you're lying, is just when you finally think that everyone's buying the crap that you're saying and they pull the rug out from underneath you. So I think that Yvaine is going to nod and say, you know, you've really given me a lot to think about. But, you know, just some kind of like platitudes. You're like, oh, give me a lot to think about. I didn't think about XYZ in this way that you framed it. And that does open up the potential for, you know, other reasoning behind what's going on, right? And I think she starts to get up, just like, I appreciate you taking the time to like answer some of my questions and speak with us. I know we've taken up a good chunk of your evening now, but thank you for opening your door to us.
Of course. Just... And she looks over at Delilah. I appreciate a little warning when I'm going to be having guests.
All right, I can manage that next time around.
And so Yvaine puts on her jacket, buttons it up, right? Scarf. They're all getting ready to go. I think we start maybe transitioning from the chairs, right? And Yvaine will go, oh, one more thing. So then the person you gave the book to has nothing to do with this. Now what? Set it off!
And you see that she like does her best to like stay neutral when you say that, and just says, "Why would he be involved?"
I don't know. Why would he be accepting trophies from corpses?
Who's
Seems there's a lot of questions to answer there surrounding this. Since he's not here, only you are. Seems only you can answer them. Cat got your tongue? It's almost predatory the way that Yvaine looks at Keen when she says that. Ephraim in spirit, like, yes! Yes!
It's just like, yes! Yes! And
I mean, can charm people right to your side, but it can also scare the piss out of them.
And if she does seem like she's a little cat got her tongue at the moment, and sort of like as you're just digging into her, Marek also lays on. You may as well just tell us. I already got his name while you were being a little jabberjaw about your little conspiracy theories. And
we up, city girls up, no.
and Keen, you see like Keen get like a little agitated when he says that, and she just says bullshit, and Marek then says, yes, I'm sure Lorcan would love to hear about your bullshit. And as soon as he like drops the name, if she was capable of losing color in her face, she would have.
Yeah, can Yvaine do a little walk around Keen?
Yeah.
It's like, well, is there anything else you'd like to add? Oh dear, you've lost some color. Sorry,
I don't know what he is up to. I had a business transaction. He wanted the book. That's where it ended.
Understand. Business is just business, of course. You can't be blamed for that. Oh, but if you don't mind me asking, how do you get in contact with him?
She looks at you.
Can I do one thing?
Maybe.
A little lay on the layer here. I think Yvaine's gonna lead in. She's gonna put a hand on Keen's arm. And I think that this is like, again, like, you will feel my presence. But it's also just like a little flirtatious. Why not? I think it's just like, it's, if you use love and fear in conjunction, you can really keep people on the line here.
Oh, wow.
I said listen, she's not a saint. Anyways. It's okay. You can share your secret with me.
You don't. want to
me
go
now.
messing with him.
Oh, but I might.
And she make me a manipulation intimidation roll.
Ooh.
Oh
Okay.
my.
Ooh. I would love to. All right. Oh, you know what? I will blood surge for this. Please, Lord. Oh, okay. All right. So I got 2 9s, which is great, but I also got a messy critical.
Okay, so you got so you got
A
2
10 on my
10s.
hunger die, and yep,
Okay.
and a 10 on another die.
Okay.
Ooh, oh,
Huh.
shit.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Okay. Let me.
Yikes.
All right. Let's see.
Oh, please don't let me do anything to embarrass Delilah here.
Delilah's just watching.
See.
You think you know a person. No, just-
I mean,
Let's see. Actually, I think this one works very well for this instance. I almost went with a different one, but I'll go with your clan compulsion instead. So for ministry, their clan compulsion is transgression.
God.
The minister suffers a burning desire to influence those around them to shatter the chains of their own making. They
Yeah.
suffer a 2 dice penalty to all dice pools that do not relate to enticing someone or themselves to break a chronicle or personal conviction. The compulsion ends once the minister causes someone or themselves at least 1 stain.
Oh. Awesome.
All right, but
Oh, wait,
also,
how long does this last again?
it lasts until you resolve it.
Oh, no.
Jesus.
And I would say, but that aside, you did get 6 successes, and
Oh, it's worth it.
you did get 6 successes, and you almost to make Kane basically stumble back over her own 2 feet, and said, I'm trying. You don't want to find him. I'm trying to help you.
Oh, I feel like there's nothing that Yvaine could do that wouldn't be kind of cruel after all this anyways, right? So, um, God, forgive me. Yvaine's going to go, oh, dear, you're so sweet. And I appreciate it, I really do, but why not be a doll and just tell us anyways?
And you almost see like just like a crimson tear begin to sort of like well up in her eye and like slowly trickle out. And
Sorry.
and she says, the public museum, whenever we met It was always there. I don't know if he. I don't know if he just. I don't know if he resides there or if he just frequents there or if he likes it. I don't know. I don't.
Whereabout is the public museum? Is it like in the city or is it somewhere else?
It's in the city.
Okay. I'm so sorry, Delilah.
It's all right.
You introduced me to your friend.
I did,
This is
yeah.
how I treat women. Oh, Yvaine. Oh dear, she's gotten a taste of it. Oh no. It begins, and I think Yvaine just almost in a nurturing way just puts a hand on either side of Kane's face and says, "Thank you so much," and drops her hands. She turns around. She leaves Kane's house.
And as you head out, Marek gives a sort of like small polite bow and says, "Thank you for taking us into your home." And he turns around and leaves.
He
Yeah.
will never meet another friend ever again.
Yeah. And Delilah's just gonna get up and say, "I am sorry that happened. I did not know that would last this long."
And Keen, well, as like Yvaine and Marek have both left.
It was
Keen-
very nice.
yes, Keen just turns to Delilah and says, "Just get out!"
Okay, bye. I'm gonna walk out the door.
And as soon as you're out the door slams with extreme force behind you, and all of the locks get put back in place.
Of course, that's how Keen rolls. All right. Well, that was something.
Yvaine was very nice. Truly.
And Yvaine, Marek will turn to you and say, "That was expertly done."
Thank you. That was different. That was different. But not necessarily a bad different.
I hope Kane will get over that.
I have another potential lead if you want to keep the ball rolling.
Well, I don't mind, but Delilah, I would hate to hold you up if you have something else you wanted to attend to.
I don't know. I was gonna go through the boxes in the basement of the coterie and just like, check out, like if you're looking for something, you have to have it signaled. Like there's a box of weird jars that have strange things in them. I don't want anyone accidentally thinking that's like food. So,
Or find a way to disappear completely.
That was an accident. I don't know what I touched.
Okay, well, that sounds fine to me. I will let you know if I find out any more information.
Okay.
And so the two of you head your separate ways. Delilah, you're left to your own devices. And while all of that was going on, we're going to cut back over to Ephraim, who...
Yes.
So, Ephraim, you decided you wanted to go to Elysium and you wanted to poke around for Allison.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Villain era. Yeah.
Okay, so you make it to Elysium, and you do notice that Hassan is currently around. He's wearing He's wearing very similar attire to what you saw him in last time, though instead of sort of like a golden floral pattern, this time it's like a red floral pattern.
Hassan. Good evening. You almost said Hassan, my man, but I think that might go over too well. So, he says, let me ask a question. Do we have any contacts with the Hecata? I mean, officially between the Camarilla and their clan?
Officially, no. Unofficially, I'm sure there are some here and there.
Let's just say if someone wanted to talk to someone of that clan, how would we go about doing that?
Hypothetically speaking, it would be best for you to get someone who's already associated to introduce you.
And the player's thinking back that Ephraim has he officially been made the whip?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. So he has that sort of position already. So that's one reason he's asking. So then who would I, if I was speaking for my clan, who would I speak to facilitate this conversation with the Hecata?
Well, I know of two individuals who could hypothetically get you in touch, but one of them's a busy woman. The other you may find disturbing.
That sounds kind of ominous there. Sounds like what you're saying is I shouldn't do it.
I'm not telling you what to do. This is a hypothetical, after all.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your advice. Thank you.
If you... I can't get you in touch with someone, but... ask your Primogen. I think he knows someone who can get you in touch with someone, hypothetically speaking, of course.
Of course. If there was a need to do such a thing.
And,
yes, he's being a wise ass. So.
yeah. And, he, like, takes a puff of his cigarette and, passes it to you.
Well, it's like never really been my thing, but he'll just take a whiff. Is it cigarette or is it?
It's a
something
cigarette.
else? Okay, all right. He'll take a drag.
He'll take it back. Is there anything else?
No, that was it. I don't mean to take up any of your time.
Congratulations on the promotion.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. I think I earned it.
I'm sure you do.
He doesn't laugh. The player laughs. Okay. He is going to go see if he can find Pixie.
Okay. All right. She is easy enough to find. She's making the rounds per the usual.
He wants to pull her aside and basically ask her the same question. Like if someone wanted to get in touch with the Hecata, does she know? First off, would that be advisable? Given, they're not Camarilla. That's how he's going to first phrase that.
Yeah. And she'll basically say something along the lines of like, Dollface, what do you want to go around with the corpse fuckers with for?
Well, as you may have heard, I was recently promoted to the Malkavian Whip.
Yes, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
I knew you'd be making waves.
Of course, it's the only way I know how to do things. And I'm just thinking hypothetically. Of course, hypothetically. I feel like
I don't deal in hypotheticals.
Okay, I'll just get straight to it then. I feel like in a way I'm an ambassador. So it'd be helpful to know whom our connections are to not just obviously the clans here, but if we needed to talk to the Hecata, I mean, we're on decent terms with them.
Yeah, I'd say we're pretty neutral.
I'm just curious if I, basically writing up my own little black book, as it were, to see, okay, hey, if I need to talk to so-and-so, how would I go about talking to them?
I guess it depends on what level you want to be talking to.
Strictly diplomatic. I mean, nothing underhanded.
No. I mean, like, what kind of person you want to be talking to?
Oh, well, I'm not familiar with them. Who's some of the major families or members of the family, as it were?
Well, top dog I know is, well, I don't know him. I just know of him.
Mhm.
Guy by the name of Zephyr. I know he's not like the head honcho or anything, but
Okay.
But, he's important. I don't know who's running their show over there or anything. But he's like a consigliere or something.
Oh, okay. Question.
One of those mask wearing guys. I don't know what. I don't know.
Oh, they go for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to a little eyes wide shut, whatever. But,
With a dot in politics, would I know anything about them?
Anything about the Hecata?
Yeah.
And
probably not enough to know Giovanni, Milliner, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so. You can make me an intelligence politics roll to see how much you know / what you know.
Okay. Zero. You
don't know anything other than what you already definitively know.
That's what I figured, but I was just curious. So okay. Okay, so Zephyr?
Yeah, that's his name. I don't know. He's a bit intense, but I know a guy who might be able to get you in touch with him if you want to go talking to those weirdos, if that's really what you want.
Not right now. Again, it's just something I need to know, who's the players.
All right. Well, there is. I do know of a lower level guy. He's kind of like a cleaner, I guess. Makes some little problems go away. Really gets his hands dirty.
Oh, okay.
This goes by the name Florian.
Florian. Okay.
Yeah, I heard he does some. Yeah, well, they're predominantly neutral, but they do some outsourcing to other folks, and so from what I've heard, he does a bit of favors for some of the anarchs sometimes.
Oh, that's good to know. And and that sounds like the kind of person to, when bad things happen, you might want to have on your speed dial, to use an old term.
Yeah, a useful kind of fella.
Florian.
Yeah.
Okay. And how would I get in touch with them?
Oh, aren't you associated with that ambassador guy?
Which one? I know so many powerful people.
The handsome one. The beard, shaved head, kind of brooding. Marek. I think that was his name.
Marek knows them.
I think he knows a few. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That is good to know, because again, sometimes bad things happen. You go a little overboard, and you need some help cleaning some things up. Because obviously no one wants to break the Masquerade.
Yeah, and she sort of slides over to you and puts one of her arms around you and sort of just starts tracing her finger across your chest with her free hand and just says, "Now, what bad shit did you get up to?"
Me personally, I'm an angel.
Don't pull that shit with me.
I just like to know.
You don't gotta get into specifics.
I just like to know what resources are available. Again, we're all speaking just hypothetically, right?
I told you I don't deal in hypotheticals.
Well, I guess I don't have any stories to share with you tonight. I'm sorry.
Such a tease.
But the next time I go crazy and need help with a cleanup in aisle 3, I will think of you, and I will think of Florian.
All right. Well, I guess that'll suffice.
And he'll just give her a little kiss on the cheek. And says, "It's a pleasure as always."
Back at you. Don't do anything too scandalous.
He just doesn't say anything. He just slips away. All right. He got what he wanted. All right. So
you leaving Elysium? You heading out of there?
Yeah, he wants to send a message to Yvaine and Delilah, basically I have some information.
All right. And
Same.
okay, so you send the message off. Are you heading anywhere in particular while you're doing this?
No. Probably just trying to leave and then trying to coordinate a meeting with the rest of the coterie.
Okay.
Should we meet at the Waffle House? Where are we meeting?
Yeah, I think somewhere not Kindred.
How about a bar, a local bar?
Okay.
Sure, why not?
A local dive bar. Okay.
So set up the meeting, and Ephraim, as you're on your way, it's sort of as you're walking down the street, you just hear, I didn't think I'd see you again.
And he turns to the voice.
And from the sort of like a ways down, you see a tall silhouetted figure, and the silhouette has like two long pointed ears, and they're sort of like at a back. And they're sort of like at a backlit distance where you can't like make out like their features currently, but you know the silhouette well enough at this point.
Who are you?
You don't remember me? I guess you wouldn't. But I'm just a little lost butterfly.
Player knows he needs backup. But Ephraim... Can we stop for tonight and pick up next week?
It's okay. This will just be momentarily.
Okay. Player wants to save, and where do you? Where have you been flying, butterfly?
Around, getting to know bits and bobs of little people. I didn't think I'd run into you again. I said that already, didn't I?
You did.
But, well, you know, I thought one was just a chance encounter. Our first conversation was so, I don't know, enticing.
When did we speak?
Oh, in that alleyway.
Shit.
When you were leaving the club. I saw you from a distance, and I simply had to know more.
He's trying to keep a poker face. What did we talk about? Sorry, I meet so many people.
Oh, just that... Apparently you had seen me before. But, like, not in person.
It's possible.
Once is chance, but maybe two is fate.
You keep saying that.
Let's go have a little chat, I think.
You know, I got places to be. So if we keep running into each other, odds are we'll meet again. So let's take a rain check on that.
Make me a make me a dex and wits roll.
All right. Wits, and I am definitely blood surging. Three successes.
Okay. You feel yourself basically fall into the ground, essentially, and you pop back up out of the ground as if you were shunted in from one place to another.
Okay.
And you end up sort of right in front of him, your back facing him, and he just puts one arm around you and another hand on your shoulder and just says, and looks at you in the face, and you just see a wide, toothy grin of pointed razor teeth, as he smiles at you and says, "I think I have to insist." And he sort of just grabs you, and the two of you slink into darkness and are gone.
Great.
And
my
that's
God,
where
you've
we're
been
stopping
kidnapped.
tonight.
Great.
Everyone's been kidnapped. Oh my God.
Met the
Alright.
Cheshire Cat. All right.
As
Great,
soon
all
as
right.
you were like, Ephraim's back is to like the front of this person, I was like, please don't. Please don't click
Oh,
Ephraim.
Oh,
Tear
shit.
it straight.
Well, alrighty then.
Ugh.
Okay. I'm sure they're just gonna go have a lovely chat. Maybe maybe trade stock tips, something like that. And all right. Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
That was an awesome session.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Wow. A lot has happened.
Yes. A lot. You packed a lot into one episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I'm like, penultimate episode of the season, arguably more important than the finale of the season. So
Probably,
you
yeah.
really gotta set shit up.
Alrighty. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, Jeff, for jumping in chat.
Always appreciate it.
Always appreciate it. And thanks everybody watching later on YouTube. We appreciate your support. Please be sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I think we're going to skip our plugs for the evening.
Sure.
And we will wrap up. And we have lots of games coming up next week. Monday, the second episode of Realms of Pugmire. A Ball to Die For, and Wednesday is the second episode of Black Sat, our Delta Green, and then of course back here next Friday night. So thank you again everybody, have a great night, and we will see you all soon. Bye.
Bye.
Night everybody.